Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about Impact Wrestling for May 27th, 2021. Now, man, with this show, man, it was not good, dude. It was not all that good. You know, it just I didn't care about most of the stuff. Like I really didn't, dude. Like we really didn't have that many matches, and like it's like every single match was a tag team match. Not saying anything against tag team wrestling. I love tag team wrestling, but every single match on this show was a tag team match. And the only thing that was interesting on this show was the Violent by Design stuff. The Violent by Design and them becoming the Impact Tag Team Champions, and the Morrissey and the Rich Swann feud. That's the only thing that I care about on this show. Everything else, man, I did not care about it. The tag team matches, I did not care about it. The Moose and Sami Callihan matches, the Moose and Sami Callihan tag team match, I didn't care about it. Although a great match, great tag team match, but I did not care about it. Did not care about it because I did not know why they were fighting. Did not know why they were teaming up against the Good Brothers. And so yeah. And then another thing that I didn't like on the show was the fact that the champions lost. Like the champions that competed tonight, they lost in their matches. Deonna Purrazzo, who is the Impact Knockouts Women's Champion, she lost in that 10-way tag team match with the Knockouts division. Like she lost. You have a lose in the match in a nothing tag team match. And then Josh Alexander, you had him lose too. You had him losing the match too against TJP and Fallah Bahh. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about it, man. I'm gonna talk about it when I get through the show. But yeah, that was it with Impact Wrestling, man. It wasn't all that good, man. So yeah, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, man, hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. You hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that bell so you'll be notified when my next video will come out. And yeah, man, this is the Impact Wrestling Review for May 27th, 2021 on The Ryan Awesome Show. And so yeah, so first off, we had a vignette. We had a vignette from the new Impact Tag Team Champions, Violent by Design. That's Eric Young, Rhino, Diener, and Joe Doering. And so yeah, they had spoke, and they said that they became the Impact World Tag Team Champions by design, and everything that they do, every single thing that they do is by design. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, to start off the show, man, first off we had Josh Matthews. He replaced Matt Striker on commentary because Matt Striker, he was on quote unquote on assignment, whatever that means. I don't know. Like what's his assignment? Like why is he not there? But yeah, I love Matt Striker, man. I really do, man. But I don't know why they took him away. I don't know why they took away Matt Striker to replace him with Josh Matthews of all people. So yeah, it was Josh Matthews and D'Lo Brown on commentary tonight. And so yeah, so we started off the show with Sami Callihan, the draw. Sami Callihan, he spoke, came out to the middle of the ring, sat in a chair, and he was talking about Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers, screwing him over and all that stuff. And then Sami Callihan, he had called out Kenny Omega. And so yeah, of course Kenny Omega, he was not on the show tonight. So he called out Kenny Omega. And then Moose had came out instead. And so Callihan, he didn't expect Moose. And so he was like, dude, what are you doing out here? I didn't call you, man. I didn't want you to come out here. I called for Omega. And so Moose had came out dressed in his nice suit. And he said that, nobody cares. Nobody cares about how you feel about Kenny Omega. The point is, I'm the number one contender and you're not. So Kenny Omega is my business and not your business. So I advise you to stay out of my business because Kenny Omega is my business. And so yeah, Moose, he said that he was the number one contender, and Sami Callihan, he is not the number one contender, so that's why he told him to stay out of his business. And so yeah, and so right after that, yeah, Sami Callihan, he had mentioned the Good Brothers, and so the Good Brothers had came out to their theme music, and so yeah, they were coming out. They were talking like they were preaching a sermon and all that stuff, saying hallelujah and all that stuff. And so yeah, so Gallows and Anderson, they were sucking up to Moose and all that, and they were saying that we're on his side, we're on Moose's side, and Moose, he had said that Moose had told Sami Callihan, yeah, the Good Brothers are on my side, but here's the thing, I'm not on your side, I'm not on your side. So Moose, he had took out the Good Brothers, and Sami Callihan, he had joined in on the attack, and so they had took out the Good Brothers, and so that was it for the start of the show. And so yeah, so basically, like when I saw this, I already knew what was gonna happen. It's gonna be a tag team match. And so yeah, so right after that, we had the Good Brothers. They had went backstage. They're upset. They were angry. And so yeah, they spoke to Don Callis, and so Callis had calmed down the Good Brothers. And so Callis, he had booked a tag team match, just like what I said earlier. He had booked a tag team match, and so it's gonna be the Good Brothers versus Moose and Sami Callihan in the main event. And so yeah, so that's the part I didn't like, man. Like why are they teaming up? Why is Moose and Sami Callihan teaming up? Why does Foes need to team up? Like I don't know, man. But yeah, man, that was it with that. So that was the main event tonight. Moose and Sami Callihan versus the Good Brothers. And so yeah, right after that, man, we had Gia Miller, backstage interviewer. Gia Miller, she interviews the Invisible Hand, Don Callis.
We just saw you make a match between the Good Brothers and Moose and Sami Callihan.
Yeah.
Is that match official? We don't normally see you make matches.
Well, first of all, of course it's official. I'm an EVP around here.
EVP.
But
yeah,
just
right.
because you don't see things doesn't mean they're not happening. You ever heard of the Invisible Hand?
And this is Kenny Omega's locker room. So Kenny Omega, of course, he was not there tonight. He didn't even show up at all on the show. He's the Impact World Champion. He did not show up at all on the show.
Remember the invisible part? You don't see it, but it's happening. Yes, I make matches. I also make money, and I also make history, and I make people's careers.
It was Scott
People
D'Amore.
like you and the idiots in production have jobs. Hi, Scott. How are you?
Hey,
buddy?
good to see you.
Yeah. We're
So-
just talking about the big match.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked to see you make a match. Like usually we talk about.
Well, we talked about the fact that you wanted me to, interact with all the whatchamacallits and who's-a-macallits in the back, the wrestlers.
Whatchamacallits and
right?
who's-a-macallits.
Yeah, this match, and I think it's a big ratings getter.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I
Hey,
might do
look,
more of this, actually. It's pretty fun.
Look, I'd
This dude right here, man.
That would be something great. So,
Okay.
like, look, love it. Great match.
You like it?
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked to see you do it, but
That's why they call us the Golden Bookers. Look,
Oh,
I gotta
yeah.
get
The Golden Bookers.
It's all good. So we're good. We're good. Collaboration. That's what I'm all about.
So he went backstage
what would he even be getting?
to Kenny Omega's locker room. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, so that was the main event for tonight. The Good Brothers and Kenny Omega, not the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega, the Good Brothers versus Moose and Sami Callihan. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had a match. It was a tag team match. And it was TJP and Fallah Bahh versus Petey Williams and Josh Alexander. So this is the first match of tonight. And so yeah, we had Fallah. He had used his weight against Alexander. And so Alexander, he had targeted Fallah's leg. And we had a double shoulder tackles to Williams and Alexander from Fallah. And then Fallah, he tried to nip up. But he failed. And so, yeah, so TJP, he had nipped up. And so they tried to nip up at the same time. But Fallah Bahh, he couldn't because he's big. He's a big guy. He can't do it. And so TJP, he tried to help him up. But, by grabbing his hand. But Fallah Bahh ended up, taking TJP out by accident. And so, yeah, so we had a springboard senton to Williams from TJP. And then at one point, you had TJP and Fallah Bahh. They were trying to go for a double splash. So TJP was on Fallah Bahh's back, and so they tried to go for a double splash, but they had missed. And so we had a Russian leg sweep, diamond shoulder tackle combo to Fallah Bahh from Alexander and Williams. And so Williams and Alexander, they had took control of the match at that point. And we had a bonsai drop to Alexander from Fallah. And we had a hot tag to TJP. He took out Alexander and Williams. And we had a running corner boot to Williams from TJP. And we had a double clothesline to TJP and Alexander. So TJP and Josh Alexander had took each other out with clotheslines. We had a springboard code breaker to TJP from Williams, followed up by a German suplex to TJP from Josh Alexander. And so we had a crossbody to Williams from Fallah. So that was an explosive one at that. And so we had a Samoan drop to Alexander from Fallah Bahh. And to end the match, we have TJP hit his finishing move, the Mamba Splash, that Frog Splash, to Josh Alexander to win the match. So TJP and Fallah Bahh wins the match, and they pinned. So TJP, he had pinned the X Division champion, and so yeah, so the match was good. But man, one of my biggest pet peeves, man, is champions losing, man. Why does a champion need to lose all the time? And like in a non-title match. Like why? Why are you booking your champions to lose? Like why? Like this the one thing I don't understand, dude. Why does a challenge, in order for a challenger to get a championship match, why does the challenger need to beat the champion to get a championship match? That's not how it's supposed to work, man. The challenger is supposed to beat the other contenders that's contended for that championship. And then when that challenger build up wins, that's when they get a championship match. The only time a champion should be losing is in a championship match. And this was not a championship match. So why is Josh Alexander losing on TV? The X Division champion being pinned on TV. Did not make any sense, dude. Did not make any sense, dude. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. I do not like to see champions lose on TV. I don't. Champions should be undefeated. Undefeated. You made him a champion for a reason. But yeah, it's like, and then another thing, dude. If Josh Alexander and Petey Williams was gonna lose the match, why didn't Petey Williams get pinned? Why didn't Petey Williams get pinned? He's not a champion. Why didn't he get pinned? Well, but no, you want to pin Josh Alexander. Man, they got to do a better job, man. They got to do a better job at booking their champions, dude. Like, they really do, man. And so, yeah, yeah, you have Josh Alexander. You have Josh Alexander pinned by TJP, and you have TJP and Fallah Bahh potentially going after the tag team titles because they mentioned it on commentary. Oh, now that TJP and Fallah Bahh won a match, are they going to go after Violent by Design and the tag team titles? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. That, oh my gosh, dude. It did not make any sense, dude. Did not make any sense. But yeah, still a good match, but I did not like the outcome. Did not like the outcome of the match. And so yeah, right after that, we had a backstage segment. So Gia Miller, she interviews W. Morrissey, the former Big Cass. And so yeah, he was talking about, his career, his entire career. And he talked about Rich Swann. And he talked about how everybody in this business betrayed him and all that stuff. And how he thinks everybody is his friend, but they're not his friends. And so yeah, but yeah, this promo was freaking awesome, dude. I love this promo. And everything that happened in the promo with Big Cass.
I'm here with W. Morrissey for a very special sit-down interview.
Oh, W. Morrissey.
W. Morrissey, thank you very much for joining me. I'm very happy to have you here today.
Oh, are you? You're happy to have me here.
Look good too,
Seems
man.
like everybody around here and everybody in this industry, they're extremely happy when the cameras are rolling.
Yep.
They're so happy to be here and to work here, and they'll be nice to everybody's face. Like, I'm gonna be nice to your face, and then I'll bury you behind your back right after the cameras stop rolling.
Bury.
Pretty much everybody in this industry, fake, phony, and they'll be nice to your face. But once those cameras stop rolling, once you walk away, they'll bury you to everybody they can.
Yeah, man.
And I'm sure you're happy to have me here, and I could sit here and say to you, I'm happy to be here. But to be quite honest, I'm not happy to be here, and I don't care if it's you sitting here or somebody else or nobody. All I care about is people hearing what I have to say.
Yep.
Well, it seems that you have a very strong perspective on the wrestling business. Some may even call it bitterness.
Look how jacked he look, man. Look how jacked Big Cass look, man. I mean, W. Morrissey. I gotta get used to calling him W. Morrissey, man. But look how jacked he look, man. Look phenomenal.
Some may say bitter, but I'd say realistic. Every time that I've fallen down in this industry, every time that something bad has happened to me or I made headlines for all the wrong reasons, people kicked me while I was down. When I had a seizure in front of 1,500 people in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, I remember
those
that.
fans that love us and adore us, do you know what they did? They took out their phones, and instead of dialing 911, they recorded it and put it on YouTube. And then everybody in the world.
And I remember that too, man. I believe it was at Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore. He was at an event. He was scheduled to have a match. And so, yeah, so Morrissey, he had a seizure. He had a seizure, like, for real. He really did. And then some idiot recorded him having a seizure instead of calling the cops and calling the ambulance. Yeah, that was really dumb.
World gets to watch me at my most vulnerable point. And my former coworkers, people that are here behind the scenes, people that are in this locker room, do you know what they did when they saw that video?
Yeah.
When I was at my lowest point, they laughed at me. And nobody reached out. People that I thought were my friends, they didn't even reach out. Not even a text, not a phone call. Hey, man, how you doing? And for 3 years, nobody contacted me.
Nobody.
And then lo and behold, when I come back to wrestling, all those same people that hadn't talked to me in years.
Now they talking to him.
Reached out.
Yep.
Hey, man, you look great. So happy to see you back. I always knew that you were going to come back strong.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why they did that? They want to know that they have that powerful piece on their side. When I make it to the top of this industry, when I make it to the top of this company, those people, they want to be on my team.
Exactly. Yep.
So they reach
right.
out and they buddy. Because they want to be my friend now.
Exactly.
Because I'm doing great.
Right now, yeah.
You have certainly had a long.
And that's how people are, man. That's how people are in this life. Like when you at your lowest of lows in your life, dude, people always kick you down. They always find a way to keep you down. But when you at your highest of highs, everybody wants to be your friend. Everybody want to collaborate with you. So yeah, so we all know how W Morrissey feel about that, man. We all know because we can all relate to that, man. Cause that's how people are. That's how people are, bro.
And tough experience. But when I look at the Impact locker room, I do see friends. You've had some issues with Willie Mack at Under Siege and his best friend, Rich Swann.
His best friend, Rich Swann?
Best friend.
Yeah, they're not friends. Rich Swann did that because that's what the people wanted. Rich Swann wants the adulation of all the fans out there. Like everybody else in this industry, he needs that validation to boost his ego. It has nothing to do with friendships. He did that for himself. He didn't do that for Willie. He did that for himself.
Yep.
Because if Willie wasn't here tomorrow, Rich Swann wouldn't care. Rich Swann and Willie Mack are just like everybody else in this industry. The same people that when I was at my lowest point, they laughed. And when I cried, they laughed. And they laughed. And they laughed. And they laughed. Who's laughing now?
Oh my God. So Rich Swann attacked W Morrissey from the side. Rich Swann, savage, dude. And that was. So yeah, that was it with that. This is probably the best part of the show, man. This promo from Big Cass or W Morrissey, whatever you want to call him, man, and the attack from Rich Swann, man. I love it, man. He using his real life. If you had like a dose of realism, like real life events into your promos, into your character, man, that's what makes it a great promo. You know, and Rich Swann, the attack from Rich Swann, it was really great, really good. And this is the Rich Swann that we need to see, man. The Rich Swann that we need to see. Angry Rich Swann. Enough with the dancing. Enough with the music. Dancing to his theme music. Enough with that, man. Serious. We need a serious Rich Swann. Serious Rich Swann. So yeah, this right here, this promo from Big Cass, excellent delivery, man. And the attack, it just everything about it was great, man. This whole thing was great. Probably the best thing on the show. One of the best things on the show. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had Gia Miller again. She interviews the Knockouts. So she interviews Tenille Dashwood with Kaleb, Racheal Ellering, Rosemary, and Havok. And she was talking about their tag team match that's coming up. That's 10-woman tag team match that's coming up later tonight.
Of Deonna, Purrazzo, Kimberly, Susan,
so you have Racheal Ellering.
Yes, Gia, look at this army we've assembled. We will give no mercy and leave no survivors.
Oh my God, man, she freaking crazy, man. Rosemary crazy me. She's really crazy.
Where's Taylor Wilde?
So yeah, Taylor Wilde, she was supposed to be there. Supposed to be a tag team She was supposed to team up with these ladies in that 10-person tag team match, and so she didn't show up.
What you were looking at me for? She's not my partner. Why would I know?
Of course you would know.
I don't think Taylor's gonna make it. You guys might want to find a replacement.
So yeah, so they have to find a replacement partner.
What about Jordynne?
Jordynne Grace.
I can go get Jordynne. She'd be great.
Really? Yeah, I don't know about that. You guys did just lose the tag team championships.
Oh.
I mean, Racheal, look around. You've got a whole locker room to pick from. But just off the top of my head, I'm thinking like.
So yeah, so Tenille Dashwood, she try to tag team with one of the ladies, trying to get buddy with one of the ladies.
You and I are maybe vibing a little.
Cause the buddy system is not working with Taylor Wilde, so she's trying to move on to Racheal Ellering because Racheal Ellering and Jordynne Grace, they have problems right now. So she's trying to weasel herself in.
This could be a
Jordynne Grace, there you go. Speak of the devil.
We can't find Taylor. Do you want to be the fifth?
Oh, so you guys want me to be a substitute now?
Uh-oh.
No, not a substitute. You will fit perfect in here. I need you out there. This will be great. Come on.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course she'll say yes.
Good.
Look, she looked like she did not want to be a part of it, dude. You could tell from her body language and her facial expressions, dude. She did not want to be there. So yeah, that was it with that. So Jordynne Grace, man, she is turning heel. She is turning heel. I don't know when, but she will turn heel. It's just the way that she coming off, like the way she coming off, and the promos and all that stuff. Like she looked like she do not want to be there. Like she did not look like she want to be there. And so yeah, I don't even blame her, dude. I do not blame her. I would separate myself from these ladies too, man. She do not need to be in no tag team match. And so yeah, so speaking of the knockouts, we had a 10-person knockouts match. So it was Fire and Flava, who are the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions. That's Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz. And we had Kimber Lee, Susan, and a virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo, who is the Impact Knockouts Champion, versus Tenille Dashwood with Kaleb in her corner, Rosemary, Havok, Racheal Ellering, and Jordynne Grace. And so yeah, I really did not care about this match. Did not care about this match. So yeah, we had a big boot to Lee from Havok. And then Havok, she started throwing Lee around using her strength. We had a backbreaker to Hogan from Havok. And we had a running senton bomb to Hogan from Ellering. And then Grace and Ellering, they had a miscommunication. And then still she had took out Grace. And so the heels, they had took control of the match during the commercial break. No picture in picture. This is not AEW Dynamite or NXT, so no picture in picture. And so yeah, we had a hot tag to Rosemary. She took out Hogan. And we had a PK kick to Rosemary from Steelz. And we had a running corner drop kick to Rosemary from Hogan. And so Susan, she had tagged in. She was wrestling in high heels, which is unsafe. She could have broken her ankle. But yeah, so the heels that had played a part, the heels that she was wearing played a part towards the end of the match. And so yeah, we had a double superplex powerbomb combo to Susan, Kimber Lee, and Rosemary from Havok. So Havok, she actually took out her own partner by accident. Or whether she did it on accident or on purpose. She done it on purpose. So yeah, we had a hot tag to Ellering. She took out Purrazzo. So this is the first time Purrazzo stepped foot in the ring in this match. And so we had a Fire and Flava, they had a super kick. I think it was Jordynne Grace or somebody, or Racheal Ellering into Jordynne Grace. And so yeah, so Susan, she had took off both of her shoes or her heels that she was wearing, and she threw it at Havok. And so yeah, I was confused about this. You had Fire and Flava, you had Kimber Lee and Susan. They were fighting each other. And I don't even know why they were fighting each other. They were on the same team. They're on the same team and they were fighting each other. I don't know if they forgot they were on the same team or what, but they started fighting each other. And I was like what? Dude, you're on the same team. And so yeah, to end the match, we had a double underhook bomb or a double underhook power bomb or something like that. I don't know what it was called. To Deonna Purrazzo from Rosemary to win the match. And so Rosemary, she pinned the Impact Knockouts champion. So this is another no-no. You pin a champion. You pin the women's champion of Impact Wrestling. and you have her in this match, dude. You build up Deonna Purrazzo as a dominant champion, and you have a pin 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring in a nothing tag team match. Like, dude, come on, dude. Like, what is they deal with them booking these champions to lose? Like, first off, you had Deonna Purrazzo retire somebody. You build her up as this dominant champion, undefeated champion. You have a retired Jazz. You have a beat Havok, who is a major threat to that women's championship. And then you have a lose. Right now, you have a lose to Rosemary in a non-title match, a tag team cluster of a match. You have a lose, dude. Dude, my God, my God, my God. I said this over and over and over again. I am not a fan of champions losing a non-title match. The only time a champion should ever lose is if it's a championship match. If it's a championship match, that's the only time a champion should lose if it's in a championship match. But yeah, I did not care about this match. Every single champion that competed on this show, they lost. They lost. So this is the night where all the champions lost. Not every single champion competed on the show, but nearly all of the champions competed on the show. The Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions, the Impact Women's Champion, and the X Division Champion competed on the show, and they all lost. All lost in their matches. And they all got pinned. They all got pinned, with the exception of Fire and Flava. But they still lost because they're on the team. But yeah, that was it with that. Did not care about this match. This right here makes me mad, dude. When I see champions losing non-title matches, it just irks me. And so yeah, so that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had Josh Alexander, who is the X Division champion. He had spoke, and he was talking about his loss tonight, him getting pinned by TJP, and he said that there's a lot of people that's going after me in my X Division championship, but if there's one guy who deserves a shot, it's TJP. And so TJP had interrupted Josh Alexander. And so basically, Josh Alexander, he had gave TJP a championship match because TJP, he had beat the champion. So I guess that's how you get a championship match nowadays. But yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had a video. It was Rohit Raju. It was Rohit Raju and Jake Something, and they were talking about their history as friends. I didn't even know they were friends. I didn't know they had a history with each other. So yeah, so Jake Something and Rohit Raju, they were talking about their history as friends and all that stuff. You know, how they came up together in the wrestling business and all that. And, them coming to Impact Wrestling and all that stuff. And Jake doesn't like what Rohit Raju has become and all that stuff. And so basically they made a match. So it's going to be a tables match. It's going to be a tables match next week on Impact. And so, yeah, that was it. So it's going to be a tables match against Jake Something and Rohit Raju. And so I'm guessing Jake will win this match. He will win this match. He has to win this match. Because it seems like with Jake, dude, it seems like every single match this guy is in, he lose. Like, he lose. Over and over and over and over and over again. This is a must-win for Jake. If he does not win next week, it's over. It's it with him. It's it with Jake. Like, he needs to win. He needs to win. I love Rohit Raju, man. I like Rohit Raju, but he is taking the L this time. He is taking the L this time to Jake. It's just Jake. It's a must-win for Jake. He has to beat him. But yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, so it's gonna be a tables match against Jake and Rohit Raju, and Jake must win. He has to win. And so yeah, right after that we have Violent by Design, who are the Impact Tag Team Champions. That's Eric Young, who is the leader, Rhino, Diener, and Big Man Joe Doering. So yeah.
Violent by design. Now violence to you is scary.
Scary.
Unpredictable.
Unpredictable.
It's chaotic.
Chaotic.
But to us, violence.
So you got Eric Young right here, the leader of Violent by Design. You have Diener right here. You have Diener. You have Rhino, who is one half of the Impact Tag Team Champions. And you have the big man right here, Big Man Joe Doering, the other half of the Impact Tag Team Champions, and them together, they are violent by design.
Is a tool. It's a vehicle. It's a well-lit path from where we are to wherever in the hell we want to go. Now, when I started this war, I needed like-minded people. I needed people with their eyes open.
Yeah.
People that knew the sickness existed.
Sickness, man. Again, that word sickness. That's describing the roster. That's describing the roster that's in the back, the Impact locker room, the sickness.
And it needed to be removed. Joe Doering was my first choice.
Big man, Joe Doering.
Joe Doering cut a path of violence through the country of Japan that few people have ever seen or will ever see again. His vision is pure.
Pure, baby.
His mind is clear.
Clear.
Now,
Diener, former tag team partner of Jake Something.
I found when he was sick.
Yep.
When he was at his weakest. When he was at his lowest. No path. No direction. No drive.
Yep.
And I opened his eyes.
Opened his eyes, man.
I showed him the truth.
The truth.
I allowed him to become his purest self.
Yes.
And the version you see standing in here to my left is the most diabolical.
Yes.
The most violent.
Yeah.
The most righteous.
Yeah.
The most perfect version of himself.
Yeah. Man, to be honest, though, Diener, he looks just like, what's his name? From the Forgotten Sons. Steve Cutler, he had cut his hair, cut all his hair off. And he looked just like him, looked just like Steve Cutler from the Forgotten Sons.
And that brings me to the War Machine.
Uh-oh.
The
Rhino.
War Machine was sick. He was weak.
Yep.
He was a shadow of his former self.
Yeah.
But I opened his eyes.
Opened his eyes.
The War Machine returned.
Yeah.
The killer returned.
Yeah.
The man with the most violent instinct in this business returned. That was all by design.
Yeah.
You see, when he came over, he didn't come empty-handed. He came with a call your shot trophy.
Call your shot. And that's the trophy that they were talking about. That trophy that they cashed in last week to get that Impact Tag Team Championship. That trophy that he had was a call your shot trophy. So that's what it was. At first, I didn't know because at the time, I didn't watch Impact. So I didn't know anything about a trophy. But if you didn't know, now you know.
By design. We held that trophy. By design.
By design.
We waited and we waited to use that trophy.
By design.
By design.
Yep.
We waited till FinJuice were at their weakest.
Yeah.
And then we called our shot.
By design. Yes.
Now FinJuice is back in Japan, and they can't use their rematch clause.
By design.
By design.
And so, yeah, that was it with that first part, man. And so, yeah, they mentioned about them taking over the wrestling world and all that stuff. You know, Japan, Mexico, you know, the West Coast, the East Coast, and all that stuff, all the wrestling companies. And so, right after that, you had Kojima. He had interrupted Violent by Design's promo or their speech.
These two know each other extremely well. Against all odds.
So yeah, so Kojima, he challenges Joe Doering to a match at Against All Odds. Against All Odds. I don't know how smart it is to challenge Joe Doering, who is the muscle of Violent by Design. Well, you got two muscles in the group, but Violent by Design. Yeah, I don't know how smart it is to challenge Joe Doering, big man Joe Doering. Why is it gonna be a one-on-one match and not a tag team match? I don't know. But yeah, that was it with that. You know, great promo as always from Eric Young and Violent by Design, man. I'm a huge fan of Violent by Design. They are the best thing on Impact Wrestling, man. Violent by Design. And yeah, man. So yeah, it's gonna be a match: Kojima versus Joe Doering. Joe Doering. And yeah, they mentioned that they were gonna take over the wrestling world and all that stuff. You know, all the companies, the wrestling companies that they have and all that stuff. Dude, I would like to see Violent by Design in AEW, man. Have them show up on Dynamite one day and just have them take out anybody, man. It could be anybody. Have all four of these guys invade Dynamite, man. I'm telling you, man, these Impact stars, man, they need to invade Dynamite. Have them invade Dynamite. They have a partnership with AEW. Impact Wrestling does. Use their partnership. Use the partnership. Have some of the guys from Impact Wrestling show up on Dynamite, and have some of the AEW talent show up on Impact. Like, I sound like a broken record, dude, when I say that, man. It seems like the Good Brothers, it's just the Good Brothers and Don Callis, the only ones from Impact showing up on Dynamite. That's it. We need more people. Nobody else from Impact showed up on Dynamite yet. But the Good Brothers and Don Callis, those are the only three that showed up from Impact to Dynamite. But yeah, I would definitely love to see Violent by Design on AEW. Can you imagine the four of those guys on Dynamite? Joe Doring and Eric Young, had them show up, and Dina and Rhino. Man, have them go after. I guess you could have them go after Eddie Kingston and John Moxley. I would love to see that. Have them go after the top baby faces in AEW. Had them go after them, man. And so yeah, that was it with that. And yeah, so right after that we had Gia Miller. She interviews a doctor that was in the back, and she was asking about Matt Cardona. She asked the doctor about Matt Cardona. And so yeah, Brian Myers. So Brian Myers, he had came in, and he was upset that that Gia Miller was asking about Matt Cardona and all that stuff. And you had Sam Beal, he had interrupted.
I'm standing by with Impact's resident doctor, Dr. Ross. What is the
Dr.
prognosis
Ross, that's
on
his name.
Cardona after he was thrown face first into a camera last week by Brian Myers?
Well, Gia, Matt is being treated by our specialists. He has a fractured orbital bone and should be out of action for about 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
Oh,
Brian Myers.
You gotta be kidding me.
The most professional wrestler, Brian Myers.
Wasting time talking about Matt Cardona. Who cares? The guy's gonna be gone for weeks.
Yeah.
But you know what, Dr. Ross? I'm glad you're here because weeks is not enough for me. Tell me what I have to break on his body to make sure he never comes back. Because he's been stalking me like a...
Oh.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, you're interrupting something. My promo.
Uh-oh.
Actually, I was here for Dr. Ross.
Zip it. I'm sorry. Look at you. Greenhorn idiot.
Greenhorn.
Nothing. You're not professional. I should slap these horrible tattoos off your body. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to teach you how to be a professional.
And so yeah, that was it with that. So are we gonna see an alliance with Sam Beal and what's his name? Brian Myers? Will we see an alliance? Will we see a partnership? Brian Myers taking Sam Beal under his wing. Maybe. It'll probably be good for Beal. Find him something to do and pair him up with Brian Myers. That should be good, probably good for Sam Beal. But yeah. So yeah, Brian Myers, man, he needs to go after a championship, man. He needs to go after the X Division championship. Because right now, man, he took out Matt Cardona just like what he said. Took out Matt Cardona. Sat him on a shelf. Put him on a shelf, dude. He should go after a championship, man. Now that Matt Cardona is out of his hair and everything. Because he keep complaining about how Matt Cardona keep getting in his business. And so now that you have Matt Cardona out of your business, now you put him on a shelf for good. Go after the championship. Go after the X Division championship, dude. You done enough, dude. And he deserved to contend for that championship. But right now, man, he hasn't been talking about a championship, man. He needs to go after the championship. But yeah, that was it from Brian Myers, the most professional wrestler. And so yeah, man, right after that, we had Violent by Design again. Yeah, Violent by Design again. They came to the back, and they were talking about Kojima.
Kojima, you want to step into our world, our ring, and challenge Joe Doering? Challenge accepted.
Oh. The first time we ever heard him talk. That's the first time I ever heard him speak. So yeah, so Joe Doering, he had spoke for the first time. He probably spoke before, but this is the first time that I ever heard him spoke.
What the hell are you doing?
So you have Decay, and you had so Crazy Steve and Black Taurus right here. You have Deonna, another person speaking.
Well, we have a match.
You have a match? You've known us long enough that you don't just walk in here in the middle of our business.
Oh, if we're gonna speak in terms of knowledge, then I feel like you would already know better than to jump from shadow to shadow, right?
Wow.
You start in Jake Something shadow, and now you find yourself living in the shadow of.
I have never seen more clear. I am my purest form. We are the Impact Tag Team Champions, and you are nothing but a sick freak clown.
I'm a clown. You know, it's funny. They say it's the clever ones who play the fool, and it's the foolish people who don't see him for it.
Wow. So yeah, that was it with that. So yeah, they actually spoke. I'd much rather have Eric Young speak. That's why he's there. And yeah, this is my first time ever hearing Joe Doering speak, dude. First time ever hearing him speak. But yeah, I'd much rather have them silent, have them not speak at all. That's why Eric Young is there to speak for them. They don't need to talk. Joe Doering doesn't need to talk. Deonna doesn't need to talk. Rhino doesn't need to talk. Eric Young is the only person that should talk. And yeah, because he's the leader. Their group is like a cult. Violent by Design is like a cult. And Eric Young, who's the leader, he should be doing all the talking. So yeah, that was it with that. So yeah, so the match is made. Joe Doering versus Kojima at Against All Odds. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Decay. We had Decay. That's Black Taurus and Crazy Steve, who we just saw just now, versus Johnny Swinger and Hernandez with Alicia Edwards in that corner. This match right here, I really didn't care about this match. This is goofy. This was a goofy match, dude. This match, I could not take this match seriously at all. So yeah, we had a running senton bomb to Swinger from Taurus. We had an elevated backbreaker to Steve from Hernandez. And then, you know, what's his name? What's his face? Swinger. We had Hernandez and Swinger. So yeah, Hernandez, he was holding up Swinger in the air. And so it's like to deliver a splash, an assisted splash and all that stuff. And so Swinger, he was afraid of heights, so he had got down and just did like a standing splash or a falling splash, and that was it. And so yeah, we had an outside dive to Hernandez from Taurus. And we had to end the match, we had a diving DDT to Swinger from Steve to win the match. So Decay wins the match, and that was it. Really did not care about the match. This was a goofy match. Man, it felt like I was watching an episode of Monday Night Raw, and I don't even watch Raw. And so yeah, so right after that, we had the Good Brothers and Don Callis. They were backstage. They were talking about their match against Moose and Callihan. And it looked like somebody was secretly recording them and all that stuff. And so Don Callis and the Good Brothers, they planned to take out, you know, Moose and Callihan. And that was it. And so yeah, right after that, before we get to the main event, let's talk about next week's show. So yeah, so next week we have on BTI. That's the show that comes on before Impact, a show that I don't watch. I don't know why they need a pre-show on Impact. But yeah, it's gonna be Josh Alexander versus TJP in an Iron Man match. An Iron Man match for the X Division Championship. Why not put it on Impact, man? Instead of putting it on some pre-show that nobody watched. And we have Kojima versus Deonna next week. And yeah. And we have Fire and Flava, who are the Impact Tag Team Champions, Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions, versus Jordynne Grace and Racheal Ellering in a rematch. So it's going to be a rematch for the tag team titles. We have Jake Something versus Rohit Raju in a tables match. And that's it. And yeah. And so yeah, right after that was the main event. And it was Moose and Sami Callihan. Moose and Sami Callihan versus the Good Brothers. That's Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson. And so yeah, when Moose was making his entrance, I love Moose entrance, by the way, dude. So yeah, so when Moose was making his entrance, Josh Matthews, he had mentioned AEW and he had mentioned NXT, WWE NXT. Because, you know, Moose, he had talked about on social media he was talking about AEW and NXT making teases on showing up on Impact. I mean showing up on NXT or AEW. So I thought that was odd having him mention WWE NXT. I thought that was very odd. But yeah. So yeah, so Moose, his contract is going up. It is about to expire. And you know, Moose he wants to win the Impact World Championship before his contract expires. And so yeah, so with this match, we had Callihan, he had went right after Anderson. And we had Moose, he had slammed Callihan right on top of Karl Anderson. And then Moose and Callihan, they were arguing with each other the entire time. The entire match, they were arguing with each other. And so we went to commercial break. And then Callihan, he had chopped Moose as a tag. So the tag his partner in, he had chopped him. And then Moose, he had chopped Callihan back to tag him back in. And so the Good Brothers, they had took control of Callihan. We had an elbow drop to Callihan from Gallows. And we had uppercuts to Callihan. We had a diving clothesline to Gallows from Callihan. We had a hot tag to Moose. He had a Uranagi to Anderson. And yeah, he had corner splashes to both the Good Brothers, Gallows and Karl Anderson. And we had a reverse diving cross body to Gallows from Moose. So that was really impressive, man. Seeing a guy like Moose jump off the top rope, dude, that is really impressive. A guy his size, dude, should not be moving like that. But Moose is freaking awesome, dude. He is awesome. So yeah, so Moose, he had a reverse diving cross body, dude. And so we had Moose, he try to hit his spear. He calls it the lights out. So he tried to go for the lights out. But Callihan, so Sami, he had tagged himself in. And so Moose, he is mad. He's pissed. And so Moose, he had pump kick Callihan. And then Anderson, he tried to take advantage of it. And so he had rolled up Callihan. And so Callihan, he had kicked out of the pin. And so Callihan, he had pump kicked Moose. And so Anderson, he had hit a spine buster, a double A spine buster to Callihan. And so to end the match, we had Gallows and Anderson, they hit their finishing move, the Magic Killer to Callihan to win the match. And so right after the match, we had Moose. He had speared. He had gave Callihan the lights out. And that was it. So, yeah, that was it. Good match. Probably the best match on the show. It was the best match on the show. But why were they teaming? That was the one thing that I didn't get. Why were they teaming up? Why? I didn't understand why they were teaming up. I'm really not a fan of foes teaming up, whether it's champion or challenger or foes in general. I don't like it. It just don't come off well. It don't come off well at all. But yeah, that was it with it. Really didn't care about it, but it was still a good match. But I really did not care about it. And so yeah, so it's gonna be against all odds. It's gonna be Kenny Omega versus Moose for the Impact World Championship. And so, of course, Kenny Omega will win. Callihan, he will get involved in the match. He'll find a way to get involved in that match and screw both of these guys over. He might cost Moose to win. Or he might cost Omega to win. I don't see that happening. But yeah, he might end up costing Moose to win. Because Omega, he is not losing. Omega is not losing that title to nobody. So yeah, because Callihan, he's going to screw one of these guys over because, he feels like he deserved the championship match. He feels that he deserved the championship match when he already lost his opportunity in that 5-way, in that 6-way, that 6-way match at Under Siege. So yeah, so he's going to get involved in that match. And plus he already have beef with the Good Brothers and Omega. So he's going to try to get involved in this match. And so yeah. So that'll be a way to protect Moose from a clean win because, just like what I said, man, Moose would lose, but to have him lose clean, that's what you don't want to do. You do not want to have Moose lose clean. So that's why I think Sami Callihan is going to get involved in this match to try to screw Moose over or make it a double disqualification or something like that. Or no contest, I don't know. It's probably not going to end well if it's a no contest. It's not going to end well because you don't want to end your main event in a no contest. So you probably want to screw one of these guys over to have one winner. That's what you probably want to do. So that's why I think Sami Callihan, he might end up screwing Moose over. And so yeah, that was it with that. Impact Wrestling, that was it. Wasn't all that good, man. It wasn't all that good. I did not like the fact that the champions lost on this show. Every single champion that competed on the show, they lost tonight, which I did not like. I did not like that. You know, and every single match on this show was a tag team match. You know, not a regular tag team match, but a tag team match with no legit teams, no legit tag teams. But yeah, man. But yeah, the only thing that did interest me on this show, the only thing that I did like on the show was the W. Morrissey and the Rich Swann stuff and the Violent by Design stuff. That's the only thing that I cared about on this show. That's the only thing I cared about that I cared about on the show. Everything else, I did not care about it. Did not care about it. But yeah, that was it with Impact Wrestling. That was it for Impact Wrestling. The review of Impact Wrestling for May 27th, 2021. And if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. You hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up. I already said that. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for all notifications so you'll be notified on my next video will come out. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And comment down below, man. Tell me how you felt about this episode of Impact Wrestling. And share this video, man. Share this video with each and every single person that you come across on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, man. And I'll see you guys for Friday for AEW Dynamite. So yeah, AEW Dynamite, it did not come on Wednesday because you had the NBA playoffs. So they moved AEW to Friday for right now. So I'll see you guys for AEW Dynamite Friday night. AEW Dynamite, they have a nice ring to it. Nice ring to it. So it's gonna be Friday night Dynamite for AEW Dynamite. And yeah, and also I have my Pro Wrestling Crate. Have my Pro Wrestling Crate right here. My Pro Wrestling Crate. So I might do the video of Pro Wrestling Crate either on Friday or Saturday, one of those days, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. See you guys on Sunday for Double or Nothing, which is on this Sunday. So I'll see you guys for tomorrow for AEW Dynamite, and I'll see you guys on Saturday for my Pro Wrestling Crate. It might be on Saturday, the Pro Wrestling Crate will be, and I'll see you guys on Sunday for Double or Nothing, AEW Double or Nothing 2021. And yeah, man, and once again, guys, thank you for the support, man. Thank you, and thank you, man. And if you missed my last week's review of Impact Wrestling, the video is going to be right up here in this corner. It's going to be right up here. And the link to that video will be down below in the description. So make sure you click either this video right here or you click the link down below in the description if you missed it. And yeah, once again, thank you for the support. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and that's that.